NFL Blitz 2001, like many sports titles, is an annual update to the beloved, over-the-top NFL Blitz series of games. Like the previous releases on the N64, the focus is always on over-the-top action, intense, fast-paced gameplay. For long-term fans of the series, this year's edition doesn't really offer much to differentiate itself from the previous games, but it offers pretty much more of the same. Featuring 1 to 4 players, full NFL licenses including teams and players, the ability to create your own plays and expansion pack support for the best looking graphics in the series. The game modes remain unchanged, however the trivia mode from last year was taken out and instead a handful of mini games were put in. If you've played games such as NBA Jam or Wayne Gretzky, you'll know what type of action to expect here. For non-fans, all of the barriers to playing a sports title have been stripped out. There's no need to know the rules, which plays to choose, and the minuscule tactical elements which seasoned football fans would all know. Instead, this is a game which anyone can pick up and play. With refined and almost basic controls, you can take any newbie gamer and within minutes they'll get the gist of the game and can start enjoying it right away. That's what perhaps makes this such a fun game to play. With 4 friends, the game turns into a WWF Warzone style affair, as you'll get a huge kick out of smashing each other all around the field. With no penalties in the game, you're essentially unchained, and can pull off moves which Hulk Hogan would be proud of, and even continue the beatdown long after the whistle blows. Perhaps the most fun in doing this is in 4-player, because if a friend does this to you, then there's nothing more satisfying than intentionally seeking them out again when the next play begins to put the beat down on them this time. That is also why the game suffers somewhat as a single player experience. Now don't get me wrong, you can still have a blast with this on your own, but multiplayer really is the game's core mechanic and intended way to be played. Playing against console AI can begin to feel tiresome in the same way that playing NBA Jam or most other arcade sports titles will do. I mentioned the overall graphical improvements with the expansion pack, but with or without it the game runs insanely fast. In order to achieve this, the visuals are naturally nowhere near the level of the hardcore NFL games like Madden or Quarterback Club with their simulation style approaches. But don't let that put you off though. By having limited player models, the focus was instead put on injecting personality into the game, which there is an abundance of. The audio department seems to have had the least amount of work done to it from the previous year's game. That's not a bad thing, as I always found the sound and music tolerable, but the effects superb, with huge bass heavy tone and bone crunching sounds. It's just a shame that if you played the game without the expansion pack to bump the visuals, it would be hard for the casual fan to have noticed many changes. Keeping this review short and sweet, I'll say this: NFL Blitz is a great arcade sports title and one which every fan of multiplayer games should own. If you own other games in the series already, then there's no real reason to pick up this game. But if you are looking for your first foray into the Blitz series, then this is a great place to start. Thankfully, all of the Blitz games are relatively easy to find and they are affordable. And so there's no harm in picking them all up if you are enjoying the series and like playing different versions with friends to switch it up. Like the rest of the series, the game is limited in single player, so if you do play the game alone, then it's almost like a practice mode for when you actually get friends over, as there's not enough content or depth to keep you coming back solo for months on end. And so for today's topic of conversation, I'd simply love to know which of your favourite Blitz games is on the N64 of the 4 different ones which were released, and also let me know why. I'd also love to share any multiplayer memories that you may have of playing this game or any of the other Blitz series of games, and as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.